conversation with Mr. Riker. Butch plans to get Cliff alone, mention the phone call, and tell him to stop threatening me, or there will be trouble. This is Butch's idea of a good time. Our date on Saturday is very similar to the one on Friday, except the movie is different. There are a few laughs, a little more touching, but not nearly enough. She really wants to get out of that gray suit. They wash it for her once a day, but she's sick of it. She wants to be pretty again, and she wants her clothes. She is sure that Cliff will be playing baseball tonight. He never misses a game. So we drive past the baseball field at about 7, then go to the apartment to get her things. I park the car and take a deep breath. "Are you scared?" she asks. "Yes." I reach under the car seat and get my gun. We go to her door. The key fits. We're in. "Hurry, Kelly," I say. I put the gun on the kitchen counter. The place is a mess. I feel like a thief. Every movement makes too much noise. My heart is beating loudly as I carry things from the bedroom to the front door. "That's enough," I finally say. "Let's get out of here." There's a slight noise at the door. Someone is trying to get in. She takes a step toward the door, and it flies open. Cliff Riker crashes into the room. "Kelly, I'm home," he shouts as he sees her fall over a chair. He swings his baseball bat directly at my head. "You bastard!" he shouts. The bat just misses me. I run at him. "Get the gun!" I shout to Kelly. He's quick and strong. "I'll kill you!" he shouts, swinging again, missing again. My foot lands perfectly between his legs. He drops the bat. I've got it. I swing hard and hit him directly across his left ear, and the noise is almost sickening. Bones break. He falls to his hands and knees, then raises his head and starts to get up. My second swing starts at the ceiling and falls with all the force I can find. I bring the bat down with hatred and fear, and it lands solidly across the top of his head. Then Kelly blocks me. "Stop it, Rudy!" I stop, look at her, and then at Cliff. He's flat on his stomach, making horrible sounds. "I'm going to kill the bastard, Kelly," I say, breathing heavily, still scared. "Give me the bat," she says. "What?" "Give me the bat and leave." I'm amazed at how calm she is at this moment. She knows exactly what has to be done. "What?" I ask, looking at her, looking at him. She takes the bat from my hands. "Leave. You were not here tonight. I'll call you later." Okay. I step into the kitchen, pick up the gun. We look at each other. I step outside, close the door quietly behind me, and look around for neighbors. I feel sick. After 10 minutes, the first police car arrives. A second quickly follows, then an ambulance. I sit low in my car in a crowded parking lot, watching it all. Kelly's in there alone and scared and answering 100 questions. And here I sit, hoping no one sees me. Should I go and save her? He can't be dead. I think I'll go back in there. The fear hits hard. I want them to carry Cliff out and take him to the hospital. I suddenly want him to live. Get up, Cliff. Walk out of there. But Cliff doesn't walk out. He's carried out. The sheet is over his face. He's dead. I open the door and disappear into the crowd. "He's finally killed her," I hear someone say. Police stream in and out. I listen carefully to what's being said in case anyone saw a stranger leave the apartment. Minutes later, Kelly comes out with a policeman on each side. She looks tiny and scared. They place her in the back of a police car and leave. I walk quickly to my car and drive to the police station. I'm taken to a room where Kelly sits alone, waiting to be questioned. I enter with a detective named Smotherton. Kelly is surprised to see me, but manages to stay calm. Another officer arrives with the tape recorder. After he turns it on, I say, "I'm Rudy Baylor, lawyer for Kelly Riker. Today is Monday, February 15, 1993. We're at the Central Police Station, Memphis. I'm present because I received a call from my client at about 7:45 tonight. She had just called 911 and said she thought her husband was dead." Smotherton starts with basic questions about Kelly and Cliff, like birth dates, marriage, employment, children. She answers patiently. Her left eye is still black and blue. The bandage is still on her forehead. She's really scared. She describes the attacks on her in detail, and Smotherton sends the other detective to get the records of Cliff's 3 other beatings. She talks about the baseball bat and the time he broke her ankle with it. She talks about the last beating and the decision to leave and hide, then to file for divorce. "Why did you go home tonight?" Smotherton asks. "To get my clothes. I was certain he wouldn't be there." "Where have you been staying for the past few days?" "A home for women, here in Memphis." "How did you get to your apartment tonight?" My heart misses a beat, but she's already thought about it. "I drove my car," she says. "Where is it now?" "In the parking lot, outside my apartment." "Can we take a look at it?" "Not until I do," I say, remembering that I'm a lawyer. "How did you get in the apartment?" "I used my key." "What did you do when you got inside?" "I went to the bedroom and started packing clothes." "How long were you there before Mr. Riker came home?" 10 minutes, maybe." "What happened then?" I interrupt at this point. She's not going to answer that until I've had a chance to talk to her. This interview is now at an end. I push the stop button on the recorder. Smotherton writes something on a sheet of paper and hands it to me. "This will be treated as a killing, but Morgan Wilson's office, which deals with family violence, will consider the circumstances." "You're keeping her here?" "I have no choice. I can't just let her go." "I'm going to jail?" Kelly says. "We have no choice, ma'am," Smotherton says, suddenly much nicer. "Your lawyer can probably get you out tomorrow, but I can't just free you because I want to." He leaves the room, and I reach across and take her hand. "It's okay, Kelly. I'll get you out as soon as possible." "How much time could I spend in jail?" "You have to be found guilty first, and that's not going to happen." "Promise?" "I promise. Are you scared?" She carefully wipes her eyes and thinks for a long time. "He has a large family, and they're all just like him. All heavy drinking, violent men." I can't think of anything to say to this. I'm scared of them too. "They can't make me go to the funeral, can they?" "No." "Good." They come for her a few minutes later, and I watch them lead her down the hall. When they stop at an elevator, Kelly turns toward me. I wave slowly. Then she's gone. Chapter 15. Winners and Losers. Morgan Wilson is a beautiful woman of about 40. She has a firm handshake and a smile that says, "I'm a busy woman, don't waste my time." Her office is full of files, but very neat and organized. I get tired just looking at all this work to be done. We take our seats. Then she realizes. "The $50 million guy?" she asks, with a very different smile now. "That's me." "Congratulations," she says. She wants to hear about my good fortune. I give her a description of the trial and what it was like to hear the verdict. Then I tell her why I'm here. She's a thorough listener and takes lots of notes. I hand her copies of the new divorce file, the old one, and the records of Cliff's previous visits to the police station. I describe the injuries left by a few of the worst beatings and promise to have Kelly's medical records by the end of the day. "That poor girl," Morgan says. "How big is she?" "About 5'5", 110 pounds. "How did she beat him to death?" "She was scared. He was drunk. Somehow she got her hands on the bat." "Good for her," she says, and I can't believe it. She's completely on Kelly's side. "I'd love to get her out of jail." "I need to get the file and read it, but I'll call the clerk and tell him we have no objection." "Where's she living?" "In one of those women's homes. But the poor thing is in jail right now, and she's still black and blue from the last beating." Morgan waves at all her files. "That's my life." We agree to meet at 9 tomorrow morning. The next day, at the office, the phone rings. It's Peter Corsa, Jackie Lemanchek's lawyer in Cleveland. Corsa congratulates me on the verdict, then tells me some strange stuff is happening at Great Benefit. The FBI arrived at the head offices of Great Benefit in Cleveland this morning and started removing records. Almost all the employees were sent home and told not to come back for 2 days. A newspaper story says Pin Con, the parent company, has serious financial problems. There's not much I can say. I killed a man 18 hours ago, and it's hard to concentrate on other things. He promises to keep me informed. It seems to take forever, but I finally see Kelly walking toward me, smiling, and I quickly take her to my car. I tell her about threatening calls about her that have been made to the prison. We suspect it's his crazy family. I don't want to discuss last night, and she's not ready for it either. Peter Corsa calls the office while I'm hiding Kelly. Great Benefit's millions have disappeared. The money was taken out by Pin Con and sent to Europe. Deck looks like death. We sit in my office for a long time without a word. We haven't discussed it yet, but we both know that we've gone from being paper millionaires to having no money at all. The phone rings. Deck answers it and listens for a minute. "This guy says he's going to kill you." "That's not the worst phone call of the day." "I wouldn't mind getting shot right now," he says. The sight of Kelly makes me feel better. We eat in her room, with the door locked and my gun on a chair. There is a short story about Cliff Riker in Wednesday's newspaper, nothing about Great Benefit. Then a message arrives from Peter Corsa's office. Mr. Wilfred Keeley was arrested yesterday afternoon as he and his wife were waiting to board a flight to London. They claimed to be going away for a quick holiday. They could not, however, produce the name of a hotel anywhere in Europe where they had reservations. It appears that Great Benefit has been robbed by its parent company over the past 2 months. The cash went to safe banks all around the world. Anyway, it's gone. Morgan Wilson has examined Kelly's file, and she wants to drop the case. Her boss, Al Vance, isn't so sure. "It's very simple, Mr. Vance," I say. "If you take it to trial, you'll lose. I'll wave that bat in front of the jury. You guys will look terrible trying to put her in jail." "He's right, Al," Morgan says. We couldn't win. Al needed to hear that from both of us and agrees to dismiss it. Morgan promises to send me a letter this afternoon. I thank them and leave quickly. I almost run through the parking lot to my car. They're examining a bullet hole in the office window when I arrive. Deck was in the front office, and the bullet missed him by no more than 10 feet. His first call was to Butch, who came immediately. Deck tells us he's fine, but his voice is very shaky. Butch says he'll wait just below the window and catch them if they come back. God help the Rikers if they plan another drive-by shooting. Deck and I decide on a private lunch, and we agree on a simple arrangement. Deck gets the files he wants, and I get $2,000, to be paid within 90 days. We agree on the details as we eat, and the business part of the separation is easy. The personal side is not. We both know that Deck has no future. I talked to Bruiser last night, Deck says. Where is he? The Bahamas. Is Prince with him? Yeah. This is good news, and I'm glad to hear it. I'm sure Deck has known for some time. So, they're safe, I say. Yeah. The money's still here, you know. How much? $4 million. It's what they made from the clubs. It's in Memphis. They want me to take it to Miami. Don't do it, Deck. It'll take 2 days, and it will make me rich. Be careful, Deck. We shake hands. You made history, Rudy. You know that? We did it together. Yeah. And what do we have to show for it now? Old war stories? Deck's eyes are wet. I watch him drive away. I go to my bank and take out my savings, $2,800. I hide the bills under the seat of my car. It's nearly dark when I knock on the Blacks' front door. Dot opens it and almost smiles when she sees me. Over coffee, I gently tell her the news about Great Benefit. We probably won't get a penny, ever. I'm not surprised at her reaction. Her eyes shine and her face is happy as she listens. There appear to be several complicated reasons for Great Benefit's death, but right now it's important for Dot to believe she caused it. She put them out of business. One little woman destroyed those bastards. She'll go to Donnie Ray's grave tomorrow and tell him. Kelly is waiting anxiously at the home. We sign the paperwork and thank everyone. Then we hold hands and walk quickly to the car, take a deep breath, and drive away. The gun's under the seat, but I've stopped worrying. Which direction? I ask when we get to the highway that circles the city. We laugh at this because it is so wonderful. It doesn't matter where we go. I'd like to see the mountains and snow, she says. I think we can find some. She moves closer. It's amazing how little we've planned for this. We didn't know until this morning that she'd be able to leave. We'll settle in a place where no one can find us. Kelly and I will talk about Cliff's death one of these days, but not anytime soon. We'll pick a small college town because she wants to go to school. She's only 20. I'd love to teach history in high school. That shouldn't be hard to do. After all, I have 7 years of college. I will not for any reason ever be involved with the law. Ever.